So, our leadership conversation today is going to be looking at the distinction between managers and leaders. These are two distinct roles that are necessary for the success of any organization, any society, any family. We need managers, we need leaders. And so let's look at the distinction between the two. And many a times you're going to find yourself having to do both, to perform both. So you need to be a manager and you need to be a leader. And it's important to know the distinction so that you're able to operate at both levels. All right, let's look at number one. Number one, managers administer. They're concerned with administration. Leaders are concerned with innovation. So leaders innovate. Number two, managers ask how and when. Leaders ask what and why. So leaders were concerned about, the why, the reason behind the mission. Number three, managers focus on systems. We need systems. Leaders focus on people. The core focus of leaders is people. If you're not focusing on people, I'm willing to bet that you're not leading. Leadership is focused on people. Number four, managers do things right. Leaders do the right things. Managers, number five, managers maintain. Leaders develop. Number six, managers rely on control. Leaders inspire trust. Seven, managers have a short-term perspective and it's necessary. Leaders have a long-term perspective and that's also necessary. 8, managers accept the status quo. Leaders challenge the status quo. Remember what we said, number one, that leaders innovate. You cannot innovate if you're not challenging the status quo. 9, leaders have an eye on the bottom line. Very important. We need to keep an eye on the bottom line. Leaders have an eye on the horizon. 10, managers imitate. Leaders originate. 11, managers emulate the classic good soldier. Leaders are their own people. And that is important because if you're going to be a pathfinder, if you're going to be creating your own path, you don't do that by emulation. And finally, number 12, managers copy. Leaders show originality. These are 12 distinctions between managers and leaders. It is very important to note that these two roles are necessary. And most of us are going to find ourselves having to act as managers and also as leaders. And it is very important that we know the distinction. Remember, leadership is a burden and a privilege and a responsibility.